Good morning, all. Are you also wondering whether this country's been hijacked by a deep state communist, or at least neo-Marxist ideology, and no matter what we say or bleat or complain or get the correct MPs on our side, it's like the big machine, the big global machine has swallowed the king. He's now a puppet. The police chiefs, they're now puppets. And certainly the Labour government in charge, they're all puppeting. In this government building, something caught my eye. I think it was the diminutive... Is that a 10-year-old security guard? Wait a minute. Come into my shop, please. Please. Oh, no, not you. Where's the miniature security guard? Where's the child labour? There it is. Nice mohawk. How have they hired a little kid as a security guard? We'll never know. You know how Donald Trump has just pardoned all the January 6th insurrectionists? Well, we all know, and Trump knew, and he knows. They're mostly just ordinary people who genuinely worried that a communist takeover had fixed the election, so cancelled democracy. They honestly thought dark forces were taking over America, and they acted accordingly. Now, my question is, shall we pardon, especially the ones for thought crime, vocal cord violations, shall we pardon all the people imprisoned in Britain for reacting emotionally to the Southport stabbings because they believed, and maybe they're still right, they believed that there was a police, governmental, multiculturalism, diversity ideology gonna F this country in the ass, and if you worry about it, you shut that F up. So my opinion is that all the vocal cord violators, or tap on the computer screen, must be released. They didn't just out of nowhere write things online. They were reacting to what they thought was the end of Great Britain. And as the society collapsed, signs of their recent insanity will be left up as demented symbols of a bygone authoritarian age. So we walk up Bridge Street, away from Salford Central Station. And I wonder what delectable delights will this foray behind enemy lines in Soviet Manchester, I wonder what photons it will bring to my little photon collection device. Just imagining billions upon billions of little photons exciting the surface of the photosensor. And in this case, I have 200 million cells to be excited, as in, wait, hold on a second. Yeah, 200 megapixel. Jesus. So if I had 40 of these cameras side by side, I would have 1 pixel for each individual alive on Earth. Oh, Jim. Jim, how much did they pay you, Jim? How much did they pay you to reprise your role as Dr. Robotnik? 30 million? 40 million? How much, Jim? Just tell us, Jim. Tell us how much it was, Jim. You can have it all, but how much do you want it? Yeah, you make me laugh. Give me your autograph. That face you make from beyond the grave when your son, the current king, refuses to dissolve Parliament and rescue the country from the Fabian neo-commie, culturally Marxist, haters of the working classes, etc., etc. Great Britain is now mediocre Soviet Britain, and I'm sure the Queen, had she known, would have made Prince Andrew king instead. No, I'm only joking, no. just making sure you're all paying attention. The neo-Gothic, or even Art Deco, no, it's more Art Deco, House of Fraser, soon to go bust. Any day now, I'm sure. Okay, we're on St. Anne's Street, approaching St. Anne's Square. Tudor, eh? I don't know, man. They use David Beckham to advertise the watch, and I don't associate David Beckham with I don't know. Well, not with watches. He's good at a free kick. That's about it. And let's not talk about Rebecca Loos. Rebecca Toilets. Don't talk about Rebecca Toilets. So, there's a poster here that makes me think that nature might be healing. Like, when's the last time you saw an attractive white couple to advertise anything? The world looks good in ultra wide. Looks very nice in ultra wide. And this is the calm before the storm. There's always a pleasant walk into the immediate centre of Manchester, but then reality kicks in. Approaching Market Street. Market Street! This is the furthest I've gotten into Manchester without seeing a single crackhead. Now, everything's healing. Spring is just around the corner. Oh great, it changed. The sign said, "Let's end hate crime together. See it, report it." Actually, the Charlie Veitch view is, you see what they call hate crime online, probably best ignore it. If the Americans can allow free speech and they've got the most powerful economy on earth, then so can we, seeing as the British gave birth to the Americans. And we need to get rid of this reputation of being a nasty, commie, effing mind control Orwellian land. So when you see hate crime, unless it's a direct threat of violence, you're probably best to just ignore it. You're not a pussy, just ignore it. Welcome to the Northern Quarter. We're on Back Piccadilly, which is, funnily enough, round the back of Piccadilly. Hence the name. Does that make sense? So there's a renovated pub down here called the Rat and Pigeon, showing a bit of love for those unloved urban sewer animals. And I think that's great. Pigeons are lovely, smart creatures. Rats are, you know, some of the smartest of the rodents. You can't train a hamster. You can't train a gerbil. But you can train a rat. And also, reminds me of that saying by Banksy. If you win the rat race, you're still a rat. Something's in the way. Yeah. Something's in the way. Yeah. Still nice to see that they used the Nirvana track in the new Batman. Well, the one from a few years ago. The latest Batman Hollywood production. Anyway. Can I just say as well, everyone on YouTube asking for likes and subscribes, which is great, but you all know what to do, and I do wince a little bit seeing any seasoned YouTuber asking for likes and subscribes. I'll tell you the metric I'm really interested in, and that is view duration. Please, please, please watch my videos until the end. I often save some dramatic stuff towards the end to reward those who stick with me. It's like a loyalty program. You watch the whole video, not only does it help me, but you get entertained because I sometimes save the best for last. This building here, Sevendale House, and it was built by J&D Cooper. Look at that, when you could put a limited company logo on the top of your lovely building. In this area, you could be forgiven for thinking that the Nazis hadn't bombed Manchester. There's still quite a lot of the original buildings remaining. Now, they did bomb Manchester, but I think they bombed Liverpool more ports. Ah, lovely. Welcome to Stevenson Square. Very hippie, very hipster, very alternative. You got your arts and crafts shop. You've got your crappy graffiti. You got your zero emission EV buses. And what else have you got, Charlie? Well, if you look up, you can see the odd bits of propaganda here and there. Palestine flags, gay flags, some gay flags without the transgender ideology inclusion, other flags with the transgender ideology inclusion. Now, I have a few gay conservative friends. Not many. They do exist. And they're lovely when you find them. They're like the Douglas Murrays of this world. And they are sick and tired, my conservative gay friends, of people thinking that the gay community actually believes that children should have gender-bending chemicals placed into them and drastic life-altering surgeries made on them. And yeah, in fact, why even talk about that anymore? That ideology has well and truly lost. But as a post-match analysis, it is shocking how much it captured the politicians, the police, the zeitgeist, the moral zeitgeist. And again, don't look at that shop. Only 18s, over 18s only. Don't look. It's amazing how dark theories, dark ideas can sometimes hack Christian empathy, Christian compassion and forgiveness and mercy, to the point where, you know, you've got fascists, then you've got anti-fascists, but if you stick at your anti-fascism long enough, you become the fascist. Free Palestine. It's such an empty slogan. Like, I support the troops. Doesn't matter what the troops are doing, I support them. Doesn't matter what Palestine's doing, free them. Free Palestine, please, please. Why can't we be backward savages? Why can't we be barbarians and get away with it, please? Well, viewers, I've played around with the pro video settings. This is the best I can do for now for this little bright sequence. But watch how it all falls apart as we look at the darks. Now I'm going to switch to auto so you can see the difference. There's auto. Yeah. Having upgraded to a new bigger sensor, I found a lot of people online complaining that Samsung tends to be a bit overexposed and a bit too bright. And that's how I feel. But then you use one of the minor lenses like the ultra wide here, and it's vivid, it's exposed properly. I'll stop ranting about it. You don't watch my videos to hear me moan and complain. It's like, well, Charlie, you're going to blame your tools? Like a true professional, you're going to blame your tools? As I guess the real man blames himself. Check this out here at this bar that's so cool and trendy, it doesn't even have a name. They scan everyone's ID under CCTV. Because nothing says have a good time like being checked in like a prisoner into the correctional system before you actually even have a beer. And here's a good one. Tap here to donate £3 because yeah, money is really going to solve the homelessness crisis. Oh, the hipsters, boo, I've done my bit, I've done my bit. Imagine if this was a neon. And then it says, Dogtown. Now do it with the crescent and star. Do it with the crescent and star. Oh, you won't, will you? No, no, no. Trough building from 1881. And we looked down Soap Street a couple of videos ago. This is Salmon Street. The back of Spinningfields Fish Market? Or no, Smithfields. Getting my fields wrong. Turkish grill called the Kebab Lab. Kebab Lab. A couple of American tourists. You can tell by the baseball caps. As soon as I said Kebab Lab, they turned around and stared at me as if I'd said Sieg Heil or something equally disturbing. Here's the view down the back of the Arndale. And here's the bus station. There's a look up towards Market Street, and of course the cameo by the big ball of gas burning billions of miles away. So far away, in fact, it takes the photons 8 minutes. So it means that the sun could have exploded in a supernova 7 minutes ago, but I won't discover for another 60 seconds whether I'm going to die or not, because the information hasn't rendered into my brain yet from the sun. And my question is, this is the Arndale Fish Market, is what happens? What happens to all the unsold fish or all the unsold octopus? Unsold shark's head. That's what happens with him. What do they do with it? Does it get sold to like some big corporation to make a fish paste? Do they grind it down and sell it as cod liver oil? I don't know. Coming back towards Market Street, and in my opinion, my not very humble, my exalted opinion, this is the ugliest building in central Manchester. There's something about it. It's too ugly to be cyberpunk. And it's not ugly enough to be the Gaza cityscape. It's just the right amount of ugly to kind of make the epicenter of the most cursed city in the world. Money! And back down Bridge Street to get back in the car to pick Laura and Ralph up from the Trafford Centre. But this time, yeah, I'm driving, I'm not tramming it. The tram was too full of Manchester United fans who park for free at the Trafford Centre, and then they got the tram over to Old Trafford. And it causes chaos because there's not enough parking spaces at the Trafford Centre for the normal shoppers. This first building built in 1953, and the one behind it about 2021. And doesn't that little brown shitty one, it's either got, no, that's definite 90s vibe. Look at that. Now, why should Britain cancel all the hate crime laws, all these like malicious communication laws, all this bullshit about free speech online? I honestly believe that their intentions were good, to keep everyone in peace and to stop people bullying and harassing each other online. Great. But the actual effect it has is it brutalizes the working classes, who may not be as able as others to express themselves in flowery and roundabout language. They might just call a spade, and if they see the Southport attack, they give their honest opinions about it. And for that to be criminalized, it has this chilling, Sovietizing, Stasi, KGB, proper KGB secret police effect on the population, because everyone's scared now to speak openly. Not me, though. I have to. Otherwise, I might as well just bend over, non-lubricate, and accept the giant phallus of tyranny into my guts. And I'm not ready for that yet. Especially not without lube. It's an impressively shiny building. Give it a decade, though, and it'll look awful. Let's do a zoom in as to how shiny it is now. Give it a bit of muck and algae. Oh, sort it right out. We're back at His Majesty's Government, 3 New Bailey. The figures are out this morning. Britain is second only to China in terms of millionaires. I'm sure they mean dollar millionaires, not like Thai baht millionaire or proper millionaire, a kind of pound or dollar millionaire, euro millionaire. Britain ranks second for the amount of rich people fleeing the Sovietized regime. And here's the thing, if you're going to go retard, I'm afraid that character from Tropics Thunder was wrong. If you're going to go retard, you got to go full retard. What Keir Starmer and Rachel Reeves are doing to the economy is going half retard. And then, of course, when you go half retard, you still allow the freedom of all the millionaires, and anyone who wants to leave, they can leave. Unless you put a Berlin Wall around it, unless you enact a Stasi East German police state, they're going to leave. So they raise taxes, the government, the lefty, we're going to raise taxes to make more revenue. And then the very people that would pay that revenue, they're like, I'm off to Dubai or America or wherever, the Vatican. It's funny that, you know, you make the country shit and people who are able to leave, but not me. I'm no traitor to this green and pleasant land that's given me everything. This is probably the greatest country on earth, and I mean that. A couple of little tweaks, a couple of adjustments, and with the right leadership, we can turn shitty, mediocre Soviet Britain back into Great Britain. It's literally make Britain great again, to steal from Donald Trump and his red cap. There's the building we've just been ranting outside. Anyone else see the Star of David in that pattern? Just me? Okay. Anyway, architecture, they've tried interlacing brick, but the real story here is the government knows that they need to protect their people from those who wish to do them harm, hence the car ramming of peace barriers all the way up and all the way down. Now, if only they cared as much about working class white girls as they do about their own staff, then they wouldn't have told the police to cover it up. Don't record the ethnicity. Just, you know, as Naz Shah liked the tweet on Twitter, these girls need to shut the hell up for the sake of diversity. Hey, Mr. Bollard, you're only there because we allow ideologies that want to run people over. There's an article just come out on the BBC News website, and the way they word it makes me know that they are to Satan. Couple in Birmingham defend first cousin marriage. It was like Mr. and Mrs. Iqbal Hussein sat on a couch, and they're like, not only are we husband or wife, our dads are brothers. And I'm looking at them on the article saying, yeah, you do look like brother and sister. You shouldn't be having kids. And they're like, our daughters are thriving. And then they interview another, going by his name, Muslim independent MP. And he's like, please, government's got no right to ban first cousin marriages. I should be allowed to stick my penor inside my mother's sister's daughter. That's disgusting, and they're defending it. And how much does it cost this country in terms of National Health Service fees to deal with all that genetic mutilation, all that inbreeding? And also, it's just not right. We're Britain. We're not some backwater up in shitholistan. No, we're Great Britain. No, you're not allowed to stick your penor in your mother's sister's daughter. That should be self-evident. The Trafford Centre. Double rainbow. Very faint outer rainbow. This is Chernobyl. Got my lovely assistant filming, and it's such a good place. They put a big plastic thing, Salford Shopping City, with an arrow. And every few years, one of the apartments there burns out and leaves a nice sooty black mark. Anyway, this is quite a kind of a run-down area, very diverse. Lots of people needing assistance. Lots of people on welfare benefits, and I think the answer isn't leftist charities and leftist social engineering to tell them that they're victims. The answer is literally to get them back in the church, get them believing in a higher power, get them realizing that there's nothing special about them, and unless they work hard and do well, they're going to suffer just like everyone else. One unfortunate thing that benefits do to people is it exalts them and gives them an egomania that they're getting paid to exist. And that's what welfare is. It's paying someone to exist. And who pays? The taxpayer pays. As some politician said recently, money doesn't grow on the magic money tree.